1.5 left.
Part of something that's sort of like a thing that is for looking inside your brain. And this particular element is called the main difference between the truth and the lie. And these saw blades, those are 8-foot saw blades. They weigh about, now those, I know the weight, they're about 500 pounds each. And when they're not locked down, they rotate back and forth, and then they also spin. And then this trolley will actually move those back and forth. So it has a lot of motion elements to it. And then here are my shadows in the way. I'll move around here. And so what I was testing was there was a premise that that in the rest of the culture that there's a lot of lies out there. And people are always telling lies, and my brain's always lying to me. And so I made a machine for interrogating those lies. And the way that I wanted to do was to try to get on, kind of, whereas people make an analogy where they have a cutting edge. I was using the names of the emotions along the edge of the saw blade. So I labeled each blade with the names of all the emotions in English, and there were about 150 of them. And of those, about 1/3 of them are edifying, and the rest of them are negative, have a lot of negative kind of connotations. So I sort of found that out. Now, 4 of us came up with the arrangements, and we kind of followed that Elizabeth Kubler-Ross thing about grief, as we think that one emotion leads to another. So we rearranged these in flashcard form, and then I wrote them on the edge. And originally there were a lot of sayings that were originating from the inside toward the outside, and then the outside toward the inside. But those have all faded away. These were completely covered with text at one time. Now, as these spin, they set up a kind of a field, kind of like the other. Like I deal with a lot of fields in my work. So this is sort of like a motor where you have a magnetic field. Only this would be sort of like an emotional field. When it spins, when the plates shear against each other as they spin one direction and then another, it sort of sets up kind of an emotive sort of a field, at least in my imagination. So this was originally on wheels, and we modified it to set it up here at the ranch. Because we're on a fairly steep side slope right here, and so these these beams were attached, and then I took the casters off. Otherwise, it would roll around on the floor. Ready? I was going to show this in the fair, and actually it did get in the fair in 2004. That's the California State Fair. But anyway, I wasn't going to get to show this there unless the piece was locked down. And so it's in that locked form right now, so the blades can't spin and cut someone in half. I've never actually killed someone. I guess Richard Serra's killed about 3 people, but I haven't killed anyone. So I'm not accomplished. But anyway, I had to promise to lock the blades down, but they made a video of it in motion available. And one lady came up to the video and was looking at it, and they said, well, where is this piece? And it's, well, it's in my backyard. Yeah, but where is this piece? And it's right there. And my brother said it's an aspect, an attribute of postmodernism that things are more real on TV than they are in real life. And so. I guess that's it. Need both hands for that. There we go. How's that? All right. This piece is called the Sphinx. This was built in the year 2000, so it's a pretty old piece. Some of the pieces I was doing at that time were modern updates of old mythologies. And so if you imagine that Sphinx that's in Egypt is actually the one that's earlier is the Greek one. And there were these two sphinxes or 3 sphinxes outside of Thebes that were terrorizing the male inhabitants there. They weren't letting them get into town unless they could answer their riddle. And otherwise they'd rip them apart and turn them into a mincemeat. So to make a modern update of it, I made a sort of a control belvedere here, and then the mouth of the Sphinx are this ring of teeth right here, and instead of a beautiful half naked lady that's a lion, I'll open that up for you in a second. There's 2 naked ladies, and they hang out in there, and they intimidate males. And so they come up and they say, "Hey, Bill, come here. We want to ask you something." And Bill goes, "I don't know. It looks kind of dangerous." And so they, "Oh, don't be a sissy. Come here." And so they talk to people through that mouth that's in the front there. There's a pair of lips. And otherwise, they sit inside of here. And this is sort of like how it would be on the inside of a Egyptian tomb. And that light bulb that's hanging there, that's from Psycho. Do you remember that? Here, let me give that a spin for you. No, it doesn't spin that much.